I had a constructive conversation with Mr. Anastasiades, and I will see Akinci in a few hours. The purpose of which is, of course, to discuss tomorrow's meeting of the leaders. I think everybody can see that the intercommunal climate is not optimal right now, and this is something that worries all of us, because we despite of the significant progress that has been made so far in this process, the leaders need the support of some kind of broader community in order to be able to move forward and to go the last mile, because as we know, and as I've been speaking about in many previous occasions, the last mile is always the most difficult one. I think I remain convinced that it is perfectly possible to solve this dispute. I'm actually been encouraged by my recent conversations with Greece and Turkey and the other key international players about security and guarantees. We definitely haven't solved it. I want to be very clear on that. But I think that the solution is within the realm of the possible if there is enough will and creativity to think somewhat outside the box and give new answers to all questions and new answers to some new questions as well. But it cannot happen if we have a deteriorating public climate in the two communities. So I think it's very important now that we overcome these last hurdles in an effective way. I'm discussing this here. I'm discussing it, of course, with Mr. Akinci, and the two leaders will discuss this tomorrow. After all, this process is leader-led, and I have been insisting since the very first day that they are the key owners of the process. We are facilitating to the best of our capacities. Maybe we could do things better, maybe we could do things differently, but what we will not do is to take it over. We want to leave this solidly owned by the leaders of Cyprus and at the final moment by the vote that all Cypriots will contribute to. So it has to be solved here. There is a significant international interest, significant international support. It's consorted, it's joined up. We heard it recently in the Security Council. We have very significant support from the highest level of the European Union and key other players. The guarantors are actively involved. They are discussing with me, but also with each other. There are conversations between two and between three and in different formats going on. But at the end of the day, it's up to the Cypriots to decide whether they really want this. We've had the window of opportunity open for quite some time. Sometimes I'm actually surprised that it has remained open so long, because it's counterintuitive that despite all the drama that's going on in the neighborhood, we still have this opportunity so clearly in our hands. But I have to reiterate, I know I said it before, but it will not remain open forever, and we have to use it while we have it, or something much less pleasant might happen. And I think this is what I just said is something that is well understood and shared by the leaders. But I think really right now, we in the talks need to have progress on some outstanding issues, but we also have to be very conscious of the effect of the climate in the two communities, because at the end of the day, if you want Cyprus to be reunited, it has to be two communities that actually want to meet and want to become one again. Otherwise it will not work, no matter how dedicated the leaders are.
Just one question about security. I know you've said that the UN will not take over the process, but I wanted to ask if the UN is helping, assisting in putting together a formula on security. I wanted to ask how far in that process the UN is specifically.
Well, this was, I would say, 90% of the content of my conversations in Athens and Greece lately. I have in constant contact, of course, with the UK and obviously with the leaders. We've been discussing this since before Geneva. So out of all these inputs, we're not putting together a proposal because we're loyal to our principle that this is owned here, but we're helping in, let's say, structuring the discussion about this so that they can, the five, and the other, I mean, the guarantors, the sides here, and the other interested players can agree, and that needs some kind of stewardship, but it will still be owned by them. But of course, our role is somewhat different because this discussion takes place in an international framework. It's not only bi-communal talks; it is with key international players, and there is a complicated relationship between those issues which we all agree is only owned here, but their effect on the broader picture and also the effect on what's happening in this broader picture and what's happening here. And to be more concrete, what I meant now is that in the area of security and guarantees, you have the issue of the deal itself, the quality of the political settlement. You have the issues of internal security, of policing, federal police, of the legal system, its credibility, its efficiency. You have the issues of any kind of international support for the settlement itself, and you have the issue of external security. And the players who are not Cypriots will only come in these latter categories, but they need to know what's happening in the first categories. So in that sense, these things are closely related. And we're working on it, and I think this is really it's the gist of the matter right now.
And how close are you?
I'm always careful to say, you know, a percentage. I mean, we're much closer than we were a month ago, and we still have a long way to go.
Okay, thank you very much. We have to go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, there will be I assume there will be a new Geneva, because we decided that already. But of course, what's very important is the quality and what we're actually able to do there. So we're still there's still a lot of work to do to make that a successful new Geneva.
Okay, thank you.